It has been 5 days since motorcycle riding terrorists swooped on Government Science Secondary School Kankara in Katsina State, northwest of Nigeria, and abducted hundreds of students. Terrorist group Boko Haram has claimed responsibility as usual, citing the need to protect Islam from what he calls the corruption of Western education. Coming barely 3 weeks after the same terrorists beheaded tens of farmers in Borno State in what was clearly another act of statement killing and the relentless harassment, extortion, and hostage-taking for ransom being perpetrated across the country by various groups of non-state actors. A lot of questions have been asked regarding what the ability of Nigerian security agencies to protect the peace around the country is, with the military increasingly getting involved in domestic security operations. The abduction of the Katsina schoolboys and the emerging circumstances around it are being treated as another litmus test for the ability of the military and the police to keep Nigerians safe. Is the military up for this task? How much progress has the military made in the course of rescuing the abducted Katsina schoolboys? And was the depth of collaboration between the military authorities and the Katsina state government in this regard? Will this be another Chibok-style rescue operation which may be dragged out to the detriment of both the abducted students and their parents and guardians? Joining us now from Arise Abuja studio for a conversation around this subject is Major General John Enenche, Coordinator of Media Operations, Nigerian Defense Headquarters. Welcome to the program, General Enenche. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on this program.
Yes, great delight to have you with us. But very quickly, what exactly is the situation in Kankara, where hundreds of young boys have been abducted by terrorists? We've had many details. The governor is saying 333 students are still missing out of 839. He has also said 17 have managed to escape on their own. How many persons, how many boys have been rescued? The military and the police claim that there is a joint operation that has led to the identification of the location of the terrorists. Where are we at this moment, 5 days later?
Thank you very much for the information that is in the public purview and that I'm getting from you. I say so because for operation security, I won't be doing everybody good, all the stakeholders, to give you the specifics of what particularly the military and other security agencies are doing. However, I will bring the ones out that will be in sync with the commitment of the Nigerian military and other security agencies to secure this country, on one hand, and on the second hand, for the dialogue that the Honorable Minister of Defense and other service chiefs had in Katsina on Sunday. So as it is now, the figure that we had there about the children that are still not found, we have 333, and from what we have in the public purview now, confirmed by the executive governor of Katsina State, 17 found their ways, have been found. So I will also want to toe that line and say that is the situation as it is now. However, the efforts are on at the highest peak to ensure that the children come out unhurt and that we don't record any loss of life, particularly amongst them. All the security agencies in that location, the Armed Forces of Nigeria, police, the state service, among others, are all working assiduously and keeping tab on the situation and tracking the criminals to ensure that the children are brought out alive. And
Oh, do carry on, General. Have you finished answering the question? I thought you stopped for a moment. So I'll ask you my question. According to the governor of Katsina State, Bello Masari's Twitter account, he actually tweeted that he's been talking to the abductors. That was the word that he chose. But Boko Haram have since claimed responsibility for this dastardly act with a voice message saying, I am Abubakar Shekau and my brothers are responsible for this. And he went on to give his reasons, saying that Western education is essentially an affront to Islam, his religion. However, the Nigerian military have dismissed that claim of responsibility by Boko Haram. On what basis did you make this dismissal? And if it is not Boko Haram, who is behind this attack?
Yes, on the basis of the characteristics of terrorists all over the whole world. From the time of where we have Al-Qaeda, Taliban, Al-Shabaab, all of them, wherever they will boost their ego or to show relevance, that is what they will do. What they didn't even do. And now you are talking as somebody speaking about, oh, you say I am Shekau. Shekau, on the secondary note, is a brand. How that needs to be done is somebody using his voice. So the total aim of terrorists is to instill fear into people, even beyond their scope of influence. So that is on that grounds, and suddenly it is just in their characteristics to begin to show relevance and all, what they cannot even do. But when you look at the way the acts of all these criminals are, the end state is to kill people and then show people wickedness and then instill fear into them. So it is easy for the layman to agree that it is them. Because even if it's kidnappers, armed robbers, at the end is to instill fear into somebody and kill the person, or kill the people, as it is.
All right, just to tamper things down a little bit for you, I'd like to say commiserations to the military on the death of General Refi and some of the top officers that are down with COVID-19. Wish them the speediest recovery. But I'd like to ask you this. Front page of our sister station this day says military mall seeking help from Africom to rescue abducted pupils. That's what the papers are saying. Is that what is happening? And secondly, I also want to ask, it was said that there was exchange of gunfire in the bush. They went outside and the military is a military action. What did the exchange of gunfire yield? What's the result? We want to see results because the parents of the children are crying.
Are you talking about exchange of gunfire in the northwest or in that general Kankara area? In that general Kankara area. If you are talking about that, yes, other operations were on and they are still on. We had, or we have as it is now, and as it were, the farm patrols, the confidence building patrol. Even up till this morning before I came, I got reports in the night of some of the people that went to see rescue animals. And it's not all that will bring us. So if you are hearing gunfire, it is a normal kinetic action going on in other areas, not directed at maybe the location as it were, that say where the children are. Because what we are saying is that maximum caution is being exercised and then professionally handled to ensure that the children come out alive. So, but our men are on ground there. Hearing in any operational area is no news.
Okay, so that means our men have located where the children are. Our men are on ground there. I want your reaction to this. Are we talking to Africom at this point, to probably help? Because what we want is to get the children out. And I'm sure you're a father too, General.
I'm a father. I have 4 children, 4 adults.
And you know what it feels like if a child that belonged to you was in there?
Let me tell you, when you lose one child, when you have lost relations, I have lost my soldiers in, pain, supreme sacrifice. It's not easy, and the experiences are never the same. They are always fresh. That a child got lost. I remember as a child when I got missing from the house, my mother wept for hours until I was found. That was over 50 years ago or thereabout. So I know what it means, and I can say that we feel it, we are concerned, and we are putting everything on the ground, putting all plans in place with other security agencies, working with the government to ensure that they come out alive. Now, you are talking, I asked whether we have made any request to Africom. For me, I will tell you no, not to my knowledge, because I'm monitoring the operation. I work with them with my position as the the coordinator of defense operations, and up till this morning, up till as far back as Saturday, Sunday, nothing like that, to the best of my knowledge and information that I have.
Well, so where is the story coming from then? Because this day newspaper does not.
It's from you that I'm hearing it now.
well, maybe you have a lot of catch-up to do. But let me ask you, also this front page story.
There's no catch-up there. My information is authentic. I give out what is necessary for you and for the public to, and I will not tell lies.
Okay, good to know that. If you look at the front page again story in this day, there is a line there, Senate summons defense minister, service chiefs, others. And that's the outcome, of deliberations in the Senate yesterday. Is there any hope that the service chiefs will make themselves available for an interaction with the Senate? Or they are also going to follow the lead of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces as advised by the Attorney General of the Federation, to wit, that these are security matters and that, security matters cannot be discussed in the open?
Well, this is beyond my scope of influence to talk about. As the coordinator of defense media operations, I coordinate at that level. Ethically, it is wrong for a military man to begin to discuss what is not in his purview, and by training to begin to discuss your seniors or what your superiors, and the purview. I think for such a question, you should, channel it to the appropriate quarters.
What will be the appropriate quarters?
It is wrong. It is insubordination on my part.
But General, what will be the appropriate quarters?
I'm not supposed to guide you and lead you. You are a journalist, very, very popular. You have your onions. So it's not for me to tell you this is where you should go. There, you have correspondence at all levels. But
you are a citizen, General. You also have opinions, or the nature of your work does not allow you to have an opinion.
But listen. I have opinion, but I operate under the law of compact, bound by military laws, military ethics, and then the civil. And I also act by debarment. There are information that I'm debarred by being somebody that have knowledge of some secret things not to talk about. And I also by etiquettes. So those are the things. So I am a citizen. Even if I retire, it remains with me for life, getting to this peak. Debarment and all those. So that is one of the disadvantages, if you like, you talk it that way, and then the joy of serving to the peak of your career.
Well, according to an Arise News report, the abductors were making inquiries in the area after the attack, asking where the girls' schools are. And according to that report, no security has been provided in that area. What is your comment on this? And hopefully not leaving any stone unturned to prevent any further attacks.
Well, I don't perfectly agree with that information. Well, because people will come and say a lot of things based on the position they found themselves on their own knowledge. But the information I have is that there were two policemen on guard beat at that location in the school. And when the criminals came, they attacked them. And that was how they had their way. So to say that they were giving information, no, the moment they gave the information that there is an attack in the school, troops came, and then, of course, for professionalism and being careful to avoid killing any of the children. And that was how it happened that way. So that they were informed that they were coming from a distance. If that information got to the security agencies, even right from the first responders like the police, of course, they would have blocked them and then taken them on before we now give them additional support. And it has happened severally in that area, in that location, whereby they will get information that they are coming, the police will go, the first responders, even from the local police station, they will now give them support from other locations that we are and save the situation. So for the future, what has been done from what we gathered was that the police has beefed up security in all the security, the boarding schools in the whole of that area. And they have mapped out, the IG did and then directed that they should do that appropriately with the mobile police squad in that location in Katsina State.
Right. So, General, I'm sorry, you're going to wear two hats with me today. You're going to be a father and a general. As a father, has the military gone ahead to start, providing any sort of social support to the parents? Because you understand what it feels like to have your child missing. Have you talked to the parents? Have you encouraged them? Is anybody working on that? And secondly, these boys that escaped, have they probably been able to debrief the military about what is happening so that this can add to your intelligence? Because the first line of intelligence, like Tunu raised, are these boys that have been able to escape the scene. So have you talked to them? Have military intelligence officers engaged these boys to be able to get one or two vital information from them?
Yes, that one, I can tell you that was done right from the first one that escaped on day one. There was a second one that we didn't report. They were debriefed, and the process is on to debrief those that got back to Kankara. But what happened is that, like I contacted this morning, the 17 that came back, some of them, I think that were found. Some of them directly reported back to their homes, and then we are making effort to ensure that we contact them, to ensure that they are debriefed to help us, fine-tune our operations and information.
Have you met with the parents? I assume maybe over 200-300 parents. Have you been able just to sit down with them, or even have them somewhere, even know them one-on-one, even talk to them one-on-one? Have you been able to have all of them together in one place?
That is, we don't have direct access to the parents. That is something that is being coordinated and should be coordinated by the school authorities and then the local authorities on the ground. And that is on. But our focus now is to ensure that we put tabs on the children and the way, wherever they are, to ensure that they come out alive.
Well, General, we've been talking about the Kankara.
But that's a good move.
Yeah, we've been talking about the Kankara schoolboys, but I want to take you back quickly, because I'm sure many of our Nigerian viewers will be interested in that, to the LEKE Tourgate incident during the NSAS protest. You came up and said the videos that initially came out were photoshopped and that there was no shooting, and that you had asked experts to analyze the video, and you said the videos were photoshopped and all of that. In the light of recent revelations about use of live bullets, blank bullets, and where the soldiers came from, have you had cause to review your position? That's your initial position. Because you told me earlier that you don't tell lies.
And you people told lies. You did wrong analysis. You always damaged the whole thing. I had cause to talk to your Christian Ogodo. If not for the interest of this country, I mean for the interest of the people, and you say I'm a father, are you a station that should do such a thing? Did you, that your correspondent, did you analyze my comment on that press conference or the statement I said? So you people started with LEKE massacre. You now changed to LEKE killing. And we're now talking of LEKE shooting. Please go back and do very well. The issue is beyond the panel, and we should not discuss it here. So I can never lie. It is you people, you are overexcited to talk to the public, and then when you now premise it on a thing, you refuse to look at the whole content. So that is it. So don't take us back. The issue is beyond the panel. Let us give them the benefit of the doubt to come back with whatever they want to come back to the general public. Don't take me back to that.
But General, we are not quarreling. I'm just asking you a question.
We will quarrel. We have to quarrel when there's need. We need to quarrel and then become friends. Do you know the implication of what you did? Why were you sanctioned by National Broadcasting Commission before other people came in? You are supposed to analyze the content of a 10-minute discussion and then come out with what is real and what is relevant. You are talking about Photoshop, which is Photoshopping. What is image picking here from here and there? And then coming out, do you know the damage that you have caused? Even to people, peaceful protesters. So keep quiet about that. Please put that one aside and let us be professional.
The footages that we showed on Arise News were footages made available by reporters who were on the ground, and we followed the story. We reported the details.
I will beg you, please, when the report of the panel comes out, you can now take me to that. And if I have to talk about this in the interest of the nation security-wise, I will talk about it. Otherwise, I even told Ogodo that you people should not go into all these areas. We have an issue at hand now. That issue is dead. So don't come and prove your relevance or to justify what you have done. I'm sure you must have been told that I didn't take it lightly. And no human being will take that lightly. When you want to do something to benefit your own, to showcase a personality like this. Finish.
Well, we're just doing our job as journalists and defending the right of the people.
Yes, and I'm also just doing my job as somebody that should be able to do what? Do your journalism very well. Do it with the sense of security, and then do it with the sense of the human being that is involved.
Anyway, we'll move on. We don't want to quarrel.
Moving swiftly on, because it is about to become an argument. All kinds of ideas have been mooted now,
it's not,
General.
well, he brought it up now. You went out of what I told you. I told you, you people told me, come and talk to us about Kankara, and you are now bringing down that thing. So why shouldn't I take you on that?
So back to Kankara.
That means you're not professional. There's an agreement. There's a media agreement. If you invite somebody, will tell you which area do you want me to focus on, so that we can now be objective and then be productive and be useful to the public. This is an ambush that has not succeeded, that has failed.
Well, I'm not aware of that agreement. When I sit here, I ask questions and do my job.
Okay, General, we'll go back to Kankara.
Okay, so we'll go back. Always consult whoever invites a dignitary or a personality to talk. Ask Christian Ogodo, what did I tell him? So it's not my fault either.
Okay, sorry. General, we'll go back to the conversation on Kankara. Yes. I think a lot of Nigerians will need to know what's happening in Kankara.
Thank you, Rufai. I'd like your take, General, on a lot of the ideas that have been mooted. Forest rangers, private military contractors, all in an effort to aid and support the Nigerian military. Has there been any kind of response from amongst your ranks to these ideas? Would you welcome support, or it's not necessary?
You see, the first opportunity I had to respond to it, you cannot be a judge in your own situation when it gets to grand strategic consideration. That is one. And then right from, I have been a fighter in the front, either in Nigeria or outside. When you hear such things, you hardly even give it attention to it hardly here, because your focus is on ensuring that you deliver your objective. And your objective is taking out the enemy. So in that regard, I've not really gotten any response from the troops in the front or whatever. Everybody's focus, right from the tactical level to operational level, is on changing plans every day to meet with the dynamics of all these challenges that we have had. And of course, it is the kind of a force that you have that you will package. So it is beyond the military. If I would tell you, that it is not something that we are looking at and say, look, let it not be done, let it be done.
Right. General, while all of this was happening, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is in Katsina. And we've been hearing talks about bandits and onslaughts of gunmen, as it were, in Katsina. Can you assure me that the President of the Federal Republic and Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces is safe in Katsina? And secondly, can you also assure me, you said kinetic actions are going on, that all these kinetic actions would definitely root out these bandits and gunmen in Katsina?
Yes, as one of the major tasks of the armed forces of Nigeria is to ensure that you protect the government and the state actors. And in that regard, the Commander-in-Chief is very, very safe in Katsina and anywhere that he will be or he is at all times. Secondly, the kinetics that we are doing, as it were, has been achieving and being sustained the objectives that we want. We still need more of the cooperation of all other stakeholders, particularly the general public. Yes, I must commend them that from when we started with the launching of all the operations in the Northeast for some months now, shortly before the ENSTAR started, yes, there has been some improvement, particularly with the harassment. People don't go to farm. You cannot just blocking roads anyhow, bandits, rustling cows in thousands and all. And we are getting somewhere. So I can assure that as we are now making it progressively with sustainability, it will be a thing of the past at in no distant time. And we are making effort.
Well, General, let me ask you this question. I guess I don't know how you are going to respond to it. There has been this suggestion in the face of all these terror attacks that Nigeria again needs to engage private military contractors. The Minister of Information having said, well, we've not been able to have access to enough platforms and that we need help. Although you say we're not talking to Africom, but some people say, well, perhaps we need private military contractors to support the Nigerian military. What do you think about that? And in the past, you had cause to talk about social media, maybe about 3 years ago. You said, well, the Nigerian military is monitoring social media, not for hate speech, but for security reasons. Are you still doing that? And what are your impressions about how social media responds to the Nigerian military?
Of course, the response will not be palatable from the people who use social media for ulterior motive and then to tamper with our operations. But those who are sincere, we know that there's nowhere in the world where you leave the social media open that people will just upload things to confuse people, to fake news and all those things. So as it were, normally it's a normal military practice, best practice all over the world. You have a way, you have your means of looking at the information, and in short, for your information, that is where you even get some information that you even use for your planning at grand strategic and strategic levels, where you hear conversations and things going on unknown to so many people. And it was meant for that, not for the people that used to chat. Some people can chat for 1 hour, for 2 hours. That was not the objective. If you have the whole time to chat your life all the whole day, no problem. But what we are looking at is you receive information from it. That is what we talk about, and that is why you now have the Nigerian Army Cyber Command, being fully put in place. You also have the Defense Defense Space Administration, all the services, of course, and it's a best practice all over the world. So that one, yes, it is still on, and it will continue to be on because Nigerian military will not be left out. If you are left out and you don't get your information, in addition to the one that use local sources, human sources, other intelligence sources, then you will be left behind. That is one. Then two, if let me quote you now that the Honorable Minister of Information said that we need, and we are asking whether we hire contractors. Like I told you earlier on, it is what a country wants, the type of an armed forces that you want that you package, or the type of a force you want. So it is not in the purview or in the hands of the military to say, look, we want this, we don't want this. All we can do, all we do rather, is to continue to, when we go for talks, for presentations, for briefings and all, we tell them, yes, we now need this, we need that. And of course, in all modesty, they have all been, it has been fine. So it is not for us to say that, come up with a comment, or for a military man to say, I need a military contractor to come and help me, or not to help me, or to work for me, or whatever. No, it is not done anywhere in the world.
General, according to UNICEF, 1,000 Nigerian children have been kidnapped by Boko Haram since 2013. We can now add the 333 from Kankara. The schools all over the north have now been closed as a result of the security situation, but it cannot be forever because we know education is a basic human right and what out-of-school children portends for the future of this nation. What plan does the military have in place to put an end once and for all to this evil of kidnapping children from school? We had Bring Back Our Girls as a trending hashtag. 112 of those girls have not been released or rescued. We have Leah Sharibu, the only one of the Dapchi girls who is still in captivity, and now we have the Kankara boys.
Yes, of course. Your armed forces, let me say your armed forces of Nigeria are your brothers and sisters. You reminded me whether I'm a father. Do you think I would not want my children to continue their education? Even some of them that have even graduated. The love I have for my children is the love the armed forces of Nigeria have for all these children. So you add that one to the oath of allegiance that we have taken for enlistment and for commissioning. So with that, we are very patriotic. And then we review our plans and whatever we do to ensure that lives and properties are protected. And we also come up with advice where it is beyond us to do certain things, something like the Safe School Initiative. It's a whole total package. People will come together, the government, the NGOs, and other people, citizens, private organizations. Then the military present their own case. And the aspect we do is that now with all the security agencies, to up our game, if giving the approval and with the working together with other people to ensure that the schools are protected, because things have changed. As it were, in those days, early, we grew up to know that you don't even travel, go to the market about 60, 70 years ago without escort, because they will catch you and barbarism. catch you as a slave. It happened in my village. But that one now, with working together, working about security, homeland security, community policing, as it were, in those days when the British came, all those ones were eradicated. And now it's like we're going. So we are very, very much involved in coming together and then working out plans to ensure safety, particularly for children, because they are the generation of tomorrow. As it is now, I am gradually relaxing from some things I used to do because my children have taken it over. So the military is also committed. And that is why the areas where we have civil-military cooperation activities, we now engage them, football teams and other things to ensure that we encourage them amongst others, but particularly on the area of security, we are on it because the governor, particularly for Katsina, he mentioned it that day, what do we do? And then we all have been taken up from there. So we are also involved.
All right, General, I don't want you to speak
from our own aspect, what we should do, we give them.
All right, General, I don't want you to speak as a general now. I want you to speak as a father. So a fellow father out there that his child is still in the bush, that he doesn't know if the child will come back dead or alive. You have the chance on national TV. Speak to that father. What will you tell him? How would you reassure him?
What I will tell that father, I'm not permitted to do that. Like I told you, anytime I come and I come as coordinator of defense media operations, I remove John Enenche. Whether Pastor John Enenche or Mr. John Enenche, which will be, it may never be. But because you have appealed, and I've also had cause to have one of my relations in 2018 that was kidnapped along the road when he was traveling, he has never come back to today. It is really touching. But I will talk to you now because you have appealed, and I think I stand under grace to speak in that light, that you be patient with us, short patience, and continue to pray for us so that we succeed. Because in everything you do, you must pray. I know some people will not take it. But I just have to say that is what I would tell the father. And that with what the military is doing, by the grace of Almighty God, we believe that the children will come out alive.
Well, thank you, General Enenche. We understand that. After all, recently we were told that the Nigerian military is also engaged in spiritual warfare as a solution to the challenge of terrorism. And thank you for your time and for this opportunity to engage you.